All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. We have only 10 people in the meet. We could possibly have some coming into the stream, but in order to honor your time, we're going to go ahead and get started with tonight's presentation. So tonight's presentation is a parent informational meeting, all dealing about the actual middle school. Just to clarify, tonight is a parent informational meeting. Hi, London. Parent informational meeting about the middle school. Tomorrow is back to school night, in which you will receive at that time you do pretty much all of the form work, lunch forms, busing, and all of that fun stuff. So 2 different nights. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So let's start with our vision. Our vision for our school year has changed. Okay, no problem, Ms. Stokes. It has changed. So our vision for this year is to create a wide range of intentional learning experiences in a joyful, inclusive, and culturally responsive environment so that all of our scholars can develop the knowledge and skills necessary to help them fulfill their purpose. So this is actual work that we've already have been engaging. But what we are doing is we're actually revisiting this vision so that therefore it's very easy for everyone to understand what is our goal at Foundation Academy. All right, so next we have our new focus. So our focus for this year, our focus for every year is academics, but we are really zooming into academics in a sense that this year, what we are doing is we are striving for 85% or more of our students to meet their absolute typical reading score through guided reading for kindergarten through 8th grade and phonics for kindergarten through 2nd grade. So for you parents, what does that mean? What that means is that we want 85% of all of our K through 8 students, okay, to be able to meet their absolute typical growth score. Okay, so that is our priority this year. We know that we've unfortunately faced some learning loss with this pandemic. So that is the goal that we're starting with. And pretty much we are striving to meet this entire year. So you have a huge part to play in this when it comes down to actual preparation for iReady. And you'll receive more information about what to do in the near future. Okay. So, as a middle school, along with our priority, what we're doing is we're also continuing with the traditional steps that we know work for kids and just work for us as our school. And that is high and clear expectations, still more time on task, meaning our hours have changed very slightly, results driven, focus on our values, student centered curriculum, and also building community. Okay. So if you've seen this before, we're going to continue it because we know it works. So some important dates, we already started with back to school night. Or tonight. Tomorrow is back to school night beginning at 3 p.m. For parents who have students that are on multiple grade levels, multiple schools, meaning intermediate, primary, middle, you are going to attend the actual back to school night booth for your youngest child. So if you have a 7th grade student and you have a 3rd grade student, you're going to attend that meeting for intermediate school. The other important point to actually consider is if you are a new parent within this meeting, your child will start school on August 18th, beginning at 7:45 to 12:30 p.m. Our returning students will begin on August 19th, 7:45 to 12:30. Just something to note, the half days now for middle school are ending at 12:30. They used to end at 12:45. Now it's 12:30. Full day schedule begins on August 30th, and that will actually go from 7:45 to 4 p.m. Okay. And now, previous to previous years, or actually last year, we're back to every Friday being a half day. And this was pretty much in response to the actual data that we received from parents when they took the survey in terms of do they want the Wednesday half day? Do they want the Friday half day? Parents voted, and it's Friday. Okay. So total 191 school days. All right, punctuality. So, just a couple housekeeping things. It's pretty much the same, meaning school begins at 8 a.m. Doors open at 7:45. 8 a.m. is when their actual classes begin, starting with homeroom. Anytime after 8 o'clock, 8:01, that's when I close that back door. And then at that point, the student has to go to the front office and they are considered to be late. Just as a reminder, learning loss is anything more than 12 absences. At that point, it may result in a detention. If there is a doctor's appointment, please schedule that on half day Fridays. If for whatever reason you cannot, specialist, whatever it may be, that's fine. Just make sure to provide the actual absence note within 5 days of the actual absence. For parents who potentially may be running late, just a reminder that if you come, you are running behind, no later than 4:15, your scholar should be picked up, and definitely no later than 12:45 on those days. And this is because our teachers have meetings that they have to attend after those hours. All right. Next, student resources. So many of you know, and if you don't know, all kids are receiving brand new laptops from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. So laptops are going to stay in school. They are not going to be taken home. The only way a laptop will be coming home is if your child's advisor, teacher calls you. There's some concerns about their actual data, meaning they need enrichment activities to help catch them up. Then that is when the laptop will come home. But the laptop stays in school. So one less thing to worry about, the laptop or the charger, whatever it may be. Parents, now this is very different from previous years, and that is that parents and guardians are responsible for any computer damages caused to the laptop. So anything that, and I'm going to say non-accidental, any damage, you are responsible for that damage. So please just talk to your scholars. And if you have not had a chance to exchange the old laptop for the new laptop, that happened today. It's also happening again. I'm sorry, it happened yesterday, but we're also doing it again on Thursday and Friday. So the noted times from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then again from 1 to 3 p.m. All right, breakfast and lunch information. So the lunch for all scholars, great news. Lunch for all scholars is free. And so is breakfast for this entire school year. So, although breakfast and lunch is free this year, please make sure to fill out the lunch application. Okay, the lunch application has already been posted on the school website. If you're having a difficult time locating, please locate the lunch application. Parents, if you filled out that lunch application last year, you are actually getting reimbursed by the state. And some parents are still getting reimbursed by the state. I want to say it was like 126 per child was the stipend that parents are receiving. So please go ahead and fill out that lunch application. So it's actually free money for our parents. Okay. Grading policies, the grading policies stay the same, meaning the bulk of the actual grade is the classwork that the child completes. Tests are 25%, quizzes are 10%. So the best advice that I suggest you give to your students, and they're going to hear it at school, is that you get your classwork done. You are going to do very well, okay? Because it's 65% of your grade. Of course, we want to push for that 25 and 10, but that classwork is important, specifically the exit ticket. All right. We are continuing with our PBIS framework, meaning that we are still going to be using Kickboard to give the students their scholar dollars. Advisors will communicate with you on how to actually access Kickboard. If you're not sure, it's the same as it's been previous years. But if you're not sure, your advisor will walk you through those steps. And just to let you know that those scholar dollars, they're going to continue to go towards field trips and socials, which will resume this school year. All right, parent resources, they continue to be the same. So you have access to the Google Classroom. If you want to get those notifications of the classwork or whether or not your child completed the classwork, ask your child's parent to give you ask your child's teacher to give you parent access so that therefore you are very much in the know when an assignment is created that needs to be completed, and you also know if that assignment has been submitted. So that parent access is powerful, okay? You will have Kickboard access. This year, we're switching over to a new parent portal, hopefully much better. We're actually going to be receiving training on this tomorrow. It's called Alma. So when you check your emails, look for an email regarding Alma. Alma is our new parent portal platform. We are also continuing to do iReady, so you will have access to iReady. Your child's advisor will provide more information on that. Same thing, tutoring is going to continue. That's going to be on an as-needed basis. So that was required in previous years. This year, it's not required, but they will touch base because that may be offered. You also have your advisor, your child's advisor. That is your first person to contact with any questions that you may have. And of course, you also have Google as your resource. So if there's any questions or whatever it may be, you can definitely, first line of person you're contacting is your child's advisor. You also have tons of links that you can actually go through. I don't believe you're going to need, hopefully you will not need any virtual learning links. However, if you need them, they're there. And all of these links will be posted on the middle school website so that therefore you can access the information. So no need to memorize any of this. All right. So as of today, if you are wondering, we are preparing to be in person 5 days a week, and virtual instruction is not being offered at all this school year. Now, considering that things are changing, I have to put the disclaimer on there that, it can be subject to change, but absolutely 100% instruction 5 days a week. Okay. All right, transportation, just a reminder, Foundation Academies does not determine who qualifies for transportation. It's actually the Trenton Board of Education. If you believe that you may possibly qualify for transportation, just reach out to Ms. Martinez. You can call the main number and just ask to speak with Ms. Martinez, and they'll either transfer you to her cell phone number or her voicemail. All right, we continue to be results driven. So iReady testing benchmark. Okay, so that actually is going to begin the first week that your child is back. iReady testing is a huge focus this year and moving forward. It is what allows us to know whether or not your scholar is demonstrating proficiency or growing towards proficiency in math and reading. It is extremely important that they give this test their absolute best. So they may tell you, I don't know how well I did. I don't know that I did well. So whatever it may be, the test will actually push their limits. So pretty much is designed at 50% of the material your scholar should know, meaning standards, and it's going to push them beyond the standards that perhaps they don't know. The only thing you as a parent need to do is really stress the importance and make sure that they're doing all the preparation the night before to get ready for their actual iReady testing. We will have, as far as we are concerned, the state says that we're still having the NJSLA as of right now, so that will come in the spring. We have your traditional tests and quizzes, classwork, projects. So again, I put on there academic planning is based on the scholar's iReady data. So your child's teachers will be designing curriculum based on how they perform on this iReady. We grew up with textbooks. Your kids have iReady, much more poignant data. All right, so the structure continues. A C is a passing grade. We do not have any Ds. Ds do not demonstrate any proficiency. Cs lets us know they are on their way. The structure will be that they will have 60 minutes of math, 60 minutes of ELA. We used to have writing. There's no longer writing into curriculum. Writing has now been combined with reading, and now it's a beautiful combination called English Language Arts. That's for 60 minutes. They will have 60 minutes of science, history, health. and also music. And now this year, what we have done differently is we've went ahead and added 60 minutes of guided reading, so that therefore we are now making up for that learning loss that they may have experienced throughout this pandemic. Okay. Supplies, if you're wondering, what do I need to buy? Pretty much school bag, uniforms, and just make sure that they have their school assigned laptop, which for you, it's going to be staying in school. However, if they do bring it home for whatever reason, making sure it comes back every day. No homework continues this year. We are continuing with no homework, and that's basically in response to the current pandemic that we're still in. It's going to be a lot. It's a big transition for the kids. They've been home for a year and a half, some of them. Now they're transitioning back into the school building. So the best thing that we want to do to meet their emotional needs is just reduce or get rid of the actual homework. And Johan, yes, to answer your question, we do need gym uniforms, and I'm going to get into that slide in a little bit. All right. Google Classroom. So again, Google Classroom is still available. Your child's advisor is going to call you as soon as tomorrow. So if you see a different number coming in, that could potentially be the advisor. I'll give you a heads up. It'll be in the afternoon. At that point, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and exchange phone numbers with the advisor. You will also ask the advisor, let them know, please, communicate that I would like for my child to have access to my child's Google Classroom, so you can communicate at that point, so that therefore you're staying up to date on those assignments. You can also, again, be added to the classroom just to get in general updates that your child's advisor may be posting or your child's classroom teacher may be posting. All right. So if you've never seen what Google Classroom looks like, this is just a quick snippet. As you can see, you can even access the homeroom. So the homeroom page is utilized to actually post any announcements. Okay. You will also have access to a house page. You will have access, or you can have access to even clubs. Okay. So there you can see that was a club we had last year. It's called Who Got Bars. So pretty much it just keeps you tied into what is it that your child's doing every single day, or any announcements that are being posted. Okay. So when you receive that email, that is what it's going to look like. That's what the invitation email looks like. At that point, all you have to do is just click join, and then just start, just exploring the options that you get. All right, community building continues to be the same. Homeroom is going to be occurring in the morning. That's the daily check-in. That's where attendance is taken. That's where announcements will be posted. We also are now having mindful moments that will be occurring in the morning. Advisory, though, has changed. Advisory now is taking place at the end of the day, okay? So if your child has an early dismissal, just know that that will be one of the actual classes that they will be missing. A little different this year is that you're going to have access to Alma to look at your child's grades. There will no longer be grade sheets coming home. Okay. So I'm going to say that again. No longer will there be grade sheets. This year, parents will have, just like in previous years, access to their child's grade. We will continue to have conferring between the child, your scholar, and also the advisor, where they'll set up goals, work on those goals, and of course, you will be included in those goals, meaning communication. And we will also continue to have community circle, which will be occurring at the end of the day. All right. As you already know, our kids work hard at FA. That's Trayvon right there in the middle. He's actually working at the school, so it does pay off. All right. So, because they work hard at Foundation Academy, we will continue with our rewarding consequence system. So, they're still going to have their trips. They're still going to have their socials. They're still going to have celebrations. They will be going back to having pep rallies. So all of their hard work is acknowledged. And we're still going to continue with those consequences. We stress to our kids there's always positive consequences, negative consequences. So our consequences will look different this year, meaning that we will not have detention after school. However, your child, between you and your child's advisor or child's teacher, you may decide, you know what, we need to go back to old school, and now we need to have a detention after school. So that is going to be very much in collaboration with your child's teacher. You will also hear the term logical consequences. So, logical consequences may be some sort of a project that they have to complete. Just what we want to do is we want to ignite critical thinking for all of our children in regards to when it comes down to poor decision making or whatever it may be. But we also want to highlight, most importantly, is all of the positive things that they are doing. So, with that being said, what we have done is we have let go of a lot of what we're called racist practices, and we are striving to become an anti-racist school environment, which means we want what's equitable for our students. Okay, so you are going to have, prior to, we used to just come up with these consequences on our own. Now it's going to be in combination, in tangent, home and school, along with the scholar. All right, uniforms. So the uniforms remain the same, meaning you have your royal blue shirt, you have your khaki pants, you also have your all black shoes. Please, no Uggs, slides, Crocs are prohibited. They need to be able to take their gym classes and they cannot do those in Crocs. So they need just all black shoes or sneakers, black or brown belt. On their gym days and only on their gym days can they wear their gym uniforms. Bandanas are not allowed. They need to have an actual mask. It could be any mask as long as it's a solid color mask, but they need to have an actual mask on. If they are chilly for whatever reason, they need to have a solid color shirt underneath of their polo. Or, of course, if you wish to invest in the actual fleeces, you can definitely do that for the chilly days. It is an air conditioned building. Some of our classrooms are very cold. So please just make sure that they're dressing accordingly and prepared for those chilly days. Smartwatches, Apple Watches, they are not allowed. Earbuds are not allowed. We did allow them in previous, let's say last year, but what we found is that the cell phones are staying on and they're still connected to the cell phones, either on the Apple Watch or the smartwatch, and also on their earbuds. So they are not allowed this year. All right. So cell phone use throughout the day is completely prohibited. And it's pretty much self explanatory. We want them focusing on school, not what's happening on the text or what's happening on social media. So just make sure if they do have these cell phones, just please reiterate they are off before they even enter. So if they're getting out of your car, remind them, shut the cell phone off, and they're inside of their school bag. And then, of course, we continue with our policy that anything that the school becomes involved when it comes into social media could potentially lead to larger consequences. So therefore, just please stress no cell phone on throughout the school day. And the emails, they need to be used appropriately as well, only for communication when it comes down to the actual teacher. All right, next we have our arrival and dismissal. Arrival and dismissal, if you have done arrival and dismissal, it continues to be the same, okay? So the first thing with arrival and dismissal is that every single day you are going to receive a survey, that health screener. Your child will not be allowed to enter the building without the completion of this health screener. So every single morning is going to be sent to your inbox or to your child's inbox beginning at 5 a.m. Okay. So at that point, if you wish to, let's say, not have to go through your child's computer or go through your child's email, that's fine. Because then what's going to happen is it's going to actually prompt you to be able to change it. Okay. It's going to prompt you to be able to change it. So basically, it'll be two steps. When you answer the question about who's taking the survey, you choose parent. And then at that point, you click the blue box. Then it's going to prompt you. Step two is going to say if you would like to have the survey sent to your email, you click yes. And that's where you put your email in. Okay. And you can actually have that email delivered directly to your inbox. Once you complete the survey, just make sure to screenshot that actual your child may attend school today, so that therefore when you're dropping them off in the morning, it's a much quicker process. You basically just pick up the cell phone, you show them the cell phone, and then therefore that you can go ahead and proceed on with the drop off. All right. If you are not feeling well, if your child is not feeling well, if Anything related to any symptom, just please go ahead and call the main office and let them know. At that point, they're going to connect you with our school nurse. All right. So here's a quick overview for parents who have not taken part of the actual arrival and dismissal process. You're going to be coming in through Rutgers Place, and Miss Lightfoot, if you kind of click on it, it'll start showing arrows. So you're going to actually come in through Rutgers Place. You're going to go through the back. It's actually been divided so that therefore you can now go through 2 lanes just to maximize and ease the traffic on the back of Rutgers Place. Right there at that second green arrow where the orange marking is, that's where they're going to check your health screener. Okay. And then what will happen is you will proceed to where the actual star is at, and that is where you will be dropping off your scholar. Okay. At that point, they're going to be receiving a green sticker from the person who's helping them get out of the car, and that green sticker will let me know, or whomever at the entrance know, my child or the student has been cleared with their survey. Okay. Entrances are slightly different for parents who have not done this before. The actual middle school entrance, our entrance is going to be through the gym. Primary is the actual yellow entrance. That is where the ramp is at. And an intermediate school by the ramp, and an intermediate school is going to be through the actual ramp. Okay. So this is a middle school presentation. So all you need to know is they're going to be going in through the gym. And that's it right there. All right. So you're going to be receiving name cards. The name cards are going to be utilized for Pick My Kid. It is extremely important that you download the Pick My Kid app. It's actually necessary. So in order for you to be able to announce that you are there to pick up your child, basically what will happen is there will be massive traffic. There will be frustration and all around the board if this Pick My Kid app is not downloaded. So you will download the Pick My Kid app, and you will also have your name card also on your windshield. That is going to announce, I am here to pick up my child. All right. So for the actual students who are walkers, bus riders, public transportation, the arrival process for those scholars is pretty much the same. The only difference is, meaning the entrances are the same. The only difference is that they actually will be walking through where that marking is at, so that therefore they can check in this case, with the person who is at that post to see if they've completed their survey. Please, 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 please do not allow your child, if they are a walker or public transportation, they should be nowhere near Rutgers Place. There's going to be a lot of traffic back there. So for their own safety, they cannot walk through the back of Rutgers Place. And they also have to go through that check-in point to make sure that they receive their green sticker. All right. Late arrival. If your student arrives in actually 7:51 for kindergarten through second grade, 8 a.m. For us, 6th through 8th grade. If they arrive after 8 a.m., go through the rear entrance is going to be closed. So at this point, you just drop off in the front of the school. And what's going to be happening at that point is that the actual screener will be checked by our secretaries, and then their temperature will also be checked at that time before they come into the building. All right. So for those who don't know, these are our temperature scanners. So we have 2 checkpoints before our students come in. Number 1 is the actual screener, and then number 2 is the actual temperature. That will pretty much check their temperature. If they have anything over 100.4 degrees, then what's going to happen is they're going to be escorted into the quarantine room, and then you will be contacted to come please pick up your scholar. And in the event of, we cannot get a hold of you, then we'll call the emergency contact. The emergency contacts will also be contacted to pick up your child if we cannot get a hold of you to complete the actual screener. All right, so now let's jump into dismissal. All right, Pick My Kid. You're going to keep seeing this. So, as we're going through this presentation, if you want to download that app, go ahead and download it. So, Pick My Kid, dismissal begins at 3:15 for primary students, and then 3:35 for intermediate students. If you have kids in multiple campuses, meaning you have a first grader, you have a third grader, and you have a seventh grader, then what's going to happen is dismissal for you begins at the middle school time, which is 3:50. Okay. So again, if you have students in multiple campuses, dismissal for you begins at 3:50 p.m. Now, in the event that you actually need to change, meaning you are not picking up your scholar, someone else is picking up your scholar, you need to change that. You need to delegate that individual on the Pick My Kid app. They will not be dismissed with anyone else other than the parent, and that is it. If your child has not been delegated, you can tell your ride. I mean, they're just going to have to be patient, because at that point, what we're doing is we're contacting you and we're saying, Miss Feliciano, can you please make sure that you delegate your scholar on the Pick My Kid app? So therefore, we can dismiss your scholar with the person whom have you delegated to pick them up. I caught you off guard, Miss Feliciano. My apologies for that. All right. So for car riders, this is what it looks like. For car riders, what will happen is you turn your Pick My Kid app on, you stay inside of your vehicle, you have your name card on your dashboard. The same entrance that the kids use to come into the building, that's the same exit that they're going to use, or the same exit that they're going to take to come out of their school. Students are only allowed to enter the car in the actual pickup zone. So if you're sitting there flagging your child like, let's go, I'm running late, they're going to be looking at you like, mommy, I can't, because I'm going to get in trouble. So they are only allowed to get in the car in the actual drop-up zone and also pickup zone. All right. So what's going to happen is you're going to have staff members who are out there, and this is all for the safety of your child, who's going to be out there. And then pretty much they're going to see Miss Stokes and they're going to be like, yep, she's here. Yep. Her little one got in the car, and then they will go ahead and click the button that says they have been dismissed, and now they are with their parent. All right, so that's the pickup zone there where the yellow star is at. Again, please don't flag them to run down the street somewhere to come for you to pick them up. It's just not safe. It really is not safe, okay? I'm going to tell you now, first couple weeks, get your patience on, because there's going to be a lot of traffic. I'm going to put that out there right now. So just give yourself plenty of time. And then once we get into the routine and everyone has done what they needed to do, it goes by very, very quickly. Okay. Now, public transportation, what we do is we escort the kids, and we still use Pick My Kid. Right? We escort the kids to the bus stop. So let's just say if Miss Joyner is walking down your scholars to the bus stop, she's actually going to hit that button that says they have gotten on the bus. So it's actually a very nice tool that will ease your nerves, like, did they get on the bus? Did they not get on the bus? You're actually going to be able to see, you're going to be able to track, like, yep, they've been dismissed. Yep, they're on the bus. If they have a younger sibling and their sibling gets on the bus with them, same procedure, same thing is going to happen. Miss Lightfoot is rushing these slides. The same procedure is going to happen, meaning that they're actually going to meet their sibling in the front of the school, and there'll be staff out there ensuring that they get on the bus. Same thing is going to happen for walkers as well. All right. So walkers just walk home. So if you are a walking parent, okay, or maybe you are a walking parent, I don't know. So if you're a walking parent, basically where that green arrow is at, that is where you're going to pick up your scholar. Okay. It's the same system. You're going to announce that you are there to pick them up as a walking parent. They're going to page into the school or send the information into the school, and they will walk downstairs. Okay. So again, this is all to help with social distancing and just help with the safety of your child. All right. Walkers with siblings, same information. They will all be meeting. In this case, is going to be in the gym. Okay. So if you have a primary baby who's in second grade with an eighth grader, they're going to link up in the gym. And at that point, there's going to be a staff member who's going to walk with them from the gym, and they'll walk all the way out either towards the bus stop, or they will walk out towards what I call Picaris. So they will walk with them at that point. They will use the Pick My Kid, and they will input that that the child has now been sent off to walk home. All right, yellow bus. So, yellow bus, kids are going to be staying in their actual homerooms. This is nice for you to know, but you really don't need to know this. You're just going to be announced on Pick My Kid, your child has boarded the yellow bus. So, it's the same exact procedure that we use for all students when they dismiss. We announce to you that they are now on their way. All right, late parents, please, please, please try not to be late. So the latest pickup time is no more than 15 minutes, okay? The teachers have been with your scholars all day. So what's going to happen is they are going to remain with your scholar if it's after the 4 p.m. mark. So after 4:15, that's when you will get a phone call, more than likely from Miss Jordan, myself, and Miss Lightfoot, and say, hey, we really need you to be here on time, okay? So your child scholars or your scholars teachers, tell it's been a long day, they work really hard, they're tired, and some of them are running off to pick up their own kids from daycare, sports, whatever it may be. So please be there on time and just let us know if something does come up. Just let us know. It just can't be like something comes up like 3 out of the 4 days or 3 out of the 5 days. It can't be like that. It could be like it just happened to be that I'm stuck in traffic and it's my first time in 6 months. Okay, so just to give you an idea. All right, early dismissal. The cutoff time for early dismissal is 2 p.m. Please call the main office and let them know. Give them a heads up. It actually saves you time as well. So give them a heads up. Let them know. Have a doctor's appointment. Can so and so be ready at this time? Not a problem. But the cutoff time is at 2 p.m. Early dismissals cannot happen at 3:15 during dismissal time. Okay. So, and that is because our staff, actually, the office will be closed. They'll be helping to support the dismissal. Actually, Miss Lightfoot, go back. I'm rushing. So for early dismissals, one of the things that you have to have is you have to have your ID. Okay. So that ID will let us know, like, yep, it is you. The ladies in the front office are fabulous. They're going to get to know you, but just in case they don't, just have your ID ready. And please don't be offended if they ask you for it. Okay. You're actually going to be waiting in the vestibule area. They won't even buzz you into the actual office. So don't take offense. We still love you. It's just all because of COVID protocol. You'll be in that vestibule area. All right, visitors policy is pretty simple. No one's allowed into the building. However, if for whatever reason you do have to come into the building, maybe there's some sort of a special meeting, whatever it may be, you're actually going to be required to take this health screener as well. Okay. You're going to need to take the health screener. You will also go through the temperature check before you come in. And of course, you have to have a mask on as you are entering the building and even in that vestibule area. All right, here it is, back to school night. So back to school night, tonight is parent orientation. Tomorrow is back to school night. Primary begins at 3 p.m., intermediate at 4, middle at 5. If you have a scholar that's in younger grade levels, that is the back to school night that you attend. But of course, come to middle school and just kind of say, hey, Miss Goss, how you doing? Hi, Miss Lightfoot. Visit us. But that is the actual back to school night that you will be attending. In order for your child to be off to a strong start, meaning all of your forms are completed, it is absolutely mandatory that you attend. Okay. And then also you get to meet your child's grade level chairs. They will be there. Miss Joyner will be there if you haven't had a chance to meet her. So we will be there. So it'll give you a chance to just kind of connect with us after a long year of having pretty much minimal connection. Whew, that was a lot. All right, so here we go. You could take a picture of this screen. So if you have any questions about anything, you want to first call your child's advisor. Did not list all their phone numbers on there, but they'll be calling you tomorrow. If you have any questions, meaning you cannot get a hold of your child's advisor, then yes, call Miss Lightfoot, call myself, or call Miss Joyner. But again, it should be your child's advisor. That's your very first person. Miss Lightfoot and myself come in last or come in second, and Miss Joyner comes in at the very bottom. We want her to focus only on instructional planning for your scholar. All right. So this is the opportunity to come off mute. And if you have any questions, go for it. Or you can put them in a chat. No? All right. This is beautiful. Again, this presentation is going to be uploaded onto the main website. Para los padres que solamente hablan en español, yo voy a hacer una grabación y la voy a poner en la página principal del colegio para que tengan acceso a toda la información también en español. Si no tienen preguntas, then that's it. No questions. You are free to go. Enjoy a fantastic evening. Thank you so much for attending.